the
Not fun
finances
subject,
of a
but
chronic illness, of any chronic illness, but especially hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus is one of the most expensive childhood illnesses they can get. And mostly because of the cost of shunts. You're in the hospital. Well, how many ER visits did it take, or visits to the neurosurgeon did it take for them to figure out either what your child has, or any patient, or that a shunt is actually failing and it's not just in your head, literally. It adds up, all the copays, all the ER visit copays, but that 10 or 20% that you're responsible for regardless, your out-of-pocket maximum, trying to, I have worked the insurance game from a patient's perspective so many times, just trying to, is there any way we can get that amount reduced? Any way, please, or can we put this on a payment plan? I've learned that hospitals want to be paid, and as they should be, for the services they're performing. Neurosurgeons should be paid. All these people who have invested so much to help us stay healthy and alive and have any sort of functional life, it costs them money. So it makes sense that, yes, we do have insurance. We try to get the best insurance we can get, so we can transfer as much of the risk of the financial burden to the insurance company and not on us, but sometimes that's not possible or not enough to make ends meet at home. A lot of times we have called the hospital, said, okay, we owe you X amount of dollars from this last surgery, and we owe the doctor, and we owe the anesthesiologist, and we owe the, all the different players who should be paid for their services. We have called and worked out payment plans, or when I had the 11 surgeries in 1 year, we qualified for, even though my husband had a great job, great pay, we qualified for financial assistance from the hospital. So they took a huge cut off of what we owed, which was lovely, and yet the insurance company still counted that chunk toward our out-of-pocket maximum. So we were able to make things work out a lot easier. But even that chunk that we owed, it was just payment plans at a 0% interest for so many months. You just definitely have to just ask, is there any way we can get this reduced? Is there any way, if we paid in cash right now, our balance, can we get it down to this? Or if I paid this much now and this much next month, can you forgive the rest? Are there any, looking for donations? Some people do GoFundMe accounts. We were blessed not to have to do that. But the other thing is, a lot of people, more people than you realize, are willing to help and are on the outside of the drama looking in at you, and they don't know how to help. And they're like, what can we do to help you? Sometimes it is, and it's hard to ask, but it's, we're stuck with this bill. I had a family member write us a check and say, you will cash this and you will put it toward your medical, because they had had a financial crisis with a medical condition a couple of years before, and they were very much aware of the burden of everything, and that was a huge help that month. Looking back, like, there's no way we could have done that summer any other way without that contribution. So some people really do want to help financially. The hospital, the doctor, whoever, you have to ask. And it's humbling and puts you in a uncomfortable position, but if you don't do it, you're stuck with the whole bill, and that's sometimes way more uncomfortable than just asking for help. The average cost for a shunt revision, just your basic run-of-the-mill, go in, get the shunt revised, is about $25,000, $25,000 to $35,000. I had one where I had 2 neurosurgeons helping, and it was over $50,000 because I had to pay for both. And usually insurance covers at least 80% of it, but that 20% adds up real fast. Hopefully there's an out-of-pocket maximum that you have to spend that year with insurance. in 2016 to 2017, that health plan year, my husband works, he's an administrator in a school district, and the insurance follows the school year, so September 1st to the end of August. I had maxed out our out-of-pocket in 6 weeks, which was overwhelming, of course, but everything else I had, all the rest of the procedures, CAT scans, everything was covered 100% because I had already hit my out-of-pocket maximum. So that's helpful if your insurance allows that. But if people don't have health insurance, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than call the hospital, work out. We're doing this cash-based. But for these severe conditions, we would have been bankrupt a long time ago if we hadn't had good health insurance for all the different things.